So we are in eclipse season. It is a time of big changes and shifts. And these two eclipses we have coming up on April 20th and May 5th have there's extra emphasis on this change energy because we're moving into a new chapter with the North and South node in the summer. So this eclipse, although we have eclipses a few times a year, this eclipse is really like a big releasing energy. It's like this ending of a chapter energy, this last year and a half chapter. So the nodes are involved with eclipses because an eclipse is a new or a full moon when that is close to the nodes. So when that new or full moon is close to the lunar nodes, we have an eclipse. So the North and South node are very important in the eclipses. And because they're changing signs in July, there's this big energy of really big release coming with these two eclipses. They both have a little bit different energy, so I'll go into each of them individually. But overall, the energy of eclipses is big change. So I like to say eclipses are like a churning, like bringing everything up to the surface that we need to see, really like shaking things up. And that way we can release what we no longer need. So we can move towards that North node energy of where we really want to go, where our soul is like deeply desiring to go, where we just know that's what feels good. That's what I'm here to do. But there's stuff that we have to let go in order to get there. So that's the energy of the eclipses. This first eclipse on April 20th is a solar eclipse, so a new moon eclipse in Aries. And Aries is a very spicy energy. It's a fire sign. It's about like ignition. It's like, let's go. Like it's time. Like we're going to get things moving. And because it's at this end of a chapter, this year and a half chapter, and it's also at 29 degrees of Aries, which is the last degree of Aries. It's really like, let's go. Like, let's clear the stuff out that we don't need. So whatever is coming up for you right now, whatever area of your life is really like loud, it's really getting highlighted, that is the area of your life that has the potential for the most change, that really wants to change as we head through this eclipse season. So on the other side, we're going to be after May 5th, we're going to be on the other side of this portal. Things are going to really open up. We're still going to be in that ending of a chapter energy, but it's really going to be like this transition energy for the next few months. So this eclipse is interesting because we're kind of going to be in this energy for the next few months. So in different ways, again, we're going to come out of this potent tunnel of the eclipses after May 5th. We'll move into a different energy, but we're going to kind of be in it for a few months. So something to keep in mind. This first eclipse in Aries is also squaring Pluto, and it's aspecting Persephone, who is a dark feminine energy. So we have Pluto, who's a dark masculine. We have Persephone, which is the dark feminine. And that energy is like, we're going deep. We're going to go deep. We're going to really see the stuff that we've been maybe avoiding, maybe like that we haven't wanted to look at, and we're going to look at it. It's going to come up. And we don't really have to do anything. Like in eclipse season, I always say, we just have to listen and pay attention to what's coming up. So this energy with really going deep with the dark feminine, dark masculine energies, it can feel a bit intense. It can feel like we're really like bringing the stuff up. And sometimes it can feel also like we've hit a like rock bottom. Like I am just done. Like I don't know what else to do. And that's okay. That's part of it. It's so that we can get really deep and see all those hidden bits so that they can be released. Because the second eclipse on May 5th is a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon eclipse in Scorpio at 14 degrees of Scorpio. And to me, this eclipse is a big cleansing energy. It's really Scorpio to me also. Pluto rules Scorpio. So Pluto is definitely like loud through this whole eclipse portal. But Scorpio is a water sign. It's really about going deep, feeling all the emotions, like getting in there. And to me, it feels like a big releasing energy because it is an eclipse near the South Node. So the South Node is currently in Scorpio. So it's that releasing energy. And the South Node is also about claiming and owning our gifts, like our natural gifts that we came in with. It's owning that and stepping more into our power with that while we're releasing what isn't serving, what just isn't helping us to get to where we want to go. So also, one of the themes that I'm really feeling with these two eclipses is this introspective energy of like really getting clear with ourselves, being radically true to ourselves, because we also have Mercury retrograde happening during this eclipse portal. So on April 21st, we have Mercury retrograde. So that's the day after that first eclipse. So I'm gonna have the sun coming in right now. I'm just gonna move this. Oh, it's still there. Oh my God. That's okay. Just guess we need a little light situation. I'm gonna try to move this one more way. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so we have Mercury retrograde, which is really about going within. It's funny that was happening, right? It's like those outer distractions, the things that are like pulling us off a little bit. It's really going within, coming back to self, coming back to this energy of like, what is true for us? We have that Mercury retrograde is in conjunction with the moon and also Uranus. So the moon is, again, that introspective energy. It's like, let's get really clear with tapping into our emotions. Let's really tap in. Let's really go in that introspective energy. And Uranus is about doing things a little bit different. He is about change. And so with Mercury, I'm also thinking this is about changing our thought patterns, really thinking in a new way. So while we have this really beautiful time of introspection with Mercury, we also have this energy of the moon and Uranus with that retrograde. That's like, let's go in, let's just be with ourselves. Let's be really radically honest with ourselves. Because Uranus, if you think about the planet, he spins on his side. He is unlike any other planet. He does his own thing. He's like, yep, I'm going to spin on my side. I'm going to do my own thing, like be myself. That's that energy that we're bringing in with this eclipse too. So with that Aries energy, those two are like right at the same time. So that's why it's like really loud, like whatever is not true for you, like whatever is not soul truth, it might be old beliefs, like ego beliefs that are kind of keeping you stuck. That stuff's going to go. So it's going to come up. It's going to be really loud, which is beautiful when we can like work with it. And that's that dark feminine masculine energy of like, let's see all the stuff. Like, let's play with everything that comes up. Like, yeah, I'm here for it because I know I get to be more fully myself, like the full spectrum of myself on the other side of that. And then just to speak about this shift happening in July. So again, that's when the North and the South Node are going to change signs. So they're in a sign for about a year and a half. So they're going to be moving into Aries and Libra. Right now they are in Taurus and Scorpio. The North Node is in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. They're going to be shifting. So the North Node is going to be in Aries. So we're going to get a year and a half of really stepping into this energy of like being radically authentic, of also stepping into this leadership energy of like being a leader for yourself, going first. Aries is about going first. It's that first sign of the zodiac. So there might be times when, you know, you are pushing up against your edges, things might feel a little uncomfortable. The North Node is always, it's that guiding light that's like, yeah, come this way, but it's always pushing our edge a little bit. It's always like a little bit uncomfortable. The South Node is where things feel a little safer, just in regards to that like old safety, what we know. But the North Node is moving us towards the unknown. And there's beauty in that. And like our soul is dying to go that way. But it can bring up some uncomfortable things and really push our edges. So as we're wrapping up this chapter that we're currently in, knowing that's what we're moving into, this eclipse, especially this eclipse on April 20th, is really going to bring that stuff up to the surface. but knowing like that, right? This is the beautiful thing about knowing that we are in cycles, is that after May 5th, we come out of this eclipse portal, like, especially with Scorpio, the energy I'm thinking is like a snake shedding its skin. Like you're going to come out with this soft, beautiful, silky, smooth, new skin that's going to feel so good. And the shedding of the skin and like releasing the skin, that might not feel so great when you're in it. But on the other side, like, oh, it feels like this big exhale, this like, oh, yeah, okay, beautiful. That other side energy of like this new, fresh energy. So that's what we are moving through. Let me just see if there's anything else to speak to. I think we covered it. I think we covered a lot of the big themes that we'll be moving through. So you can always take a look at your chart, see what you have going on around 29 degrees of Aries, 14 degrees of Scorpio, and just, yeah, also just feeling into like, what are those really big themes coming up for you? Because that is the exact thing that is going to lead you and direct you towards this new shift and where you want to go. This month, we also in Temple of the Rose went into a really beautiful practice. We went into the body to really tap into the wisdom of like what the body wants to say. So through this period, it feels really supportive to tap into that. And we also brought in the energy of like tapping into soul truth. Like, what are the messages from that North Node energy that want to come through? So if you're feeling and would love some support, join us in Temple of the Rose. You can watch that recording and go through that in your own time. And then next month, so just right around this last eclipse period, we're going to go into our second, into that month's Temple of the Rose circle. It's going to be extra, extra supportive for tuning into like this heart desire and what you are really feeling to move towards. So if you're feeling that, if you would love that support, join us in Temple of the Rose, and I will talk to you soon.